On this edition of the Thursday Night Throwdown, Illini football and men's hoops have a West Coast state of mind as they travel cross-country for a pair of primetime matchups. Illini volleyball, meanwhile, is nice and cozy at home, hosting opening rounds of the Big Dance. There's no Thanksgiving hangover here on the Throwdown.
Get the turkey out of there!
We are a grenade-free zone.
So an analogy he would make to my situation would be totally useless because he doesn't have any clue what the situation was in that case.
Well, that guy is really upset. He needs to do some deep breathing exercises or something. Hello, everybody. You are now physically, mentally, and emotionally a part of the Thursday Night Throwdown from the worldwide headquarters of UI7 News and beyond. I'm Tim Dittman, and a couple weeks ago, the talk was about football at Wrigley, sort of a go west young men mentality with the one end zone. Well, now this time, we actually have a pair of Illini squads actually going west. We start with the Fighting Zookers, who are many already projecting to end up in the Texas Bowl, but a convincing win this Friday might improve their postseason situation. You see what I did there? For the players, coaches, and the staff, though, it's all about what goes on between the lines, and after the bye week, it's nothing but the Bulldogs on the mind of the orange and blue.
Well, it's obviously going to be a tough game. It's a game that we got to travel out there. They play pretty well at home. It's a game that's very, very important to both of us. But we've had a good week so far, and we've got to finish this week strong and go out there and play the way we're capable.
I think if they had their way, you'd throw it 90 times a game. They like to rush, but we're gonna, they're gonna have to play some tough ball too. We're gonna line up and smash it at them, and not sure they like that as much as they do pass rush.
Well, they won't be sharing a charter flight, but the Illini men's hoop squad is heading west as well this weekend, although their surroundings probably won't be as warm as it is for Ron Zook's squad. I'm sure Bruce Weber is upset that he won't get to work on his tan. Either way, it's the battle in Seattle this Saturday as the Fighting Webers face Gonzaga. The Illini are fresh off a thumping of North Carolina a couple nights ago, and you better believe that they haven't forgotten the last time they locked horns with the Zags. It was an OT loss in Chicago just under a year ago. Now Bruce Weber's squad he said on Tuesday night that he's treating this run of games like a mini NCAA tournament. UNC was the Sweet 16, now his squad is on to the Elite Eight in Gonzaga. Will the analogies never end? Well, we'll find out this Saturday.
It's probably a bigger game than North Carolina was. I think they're going to be a little tougher for us, and because just the way that they match up. So it's a huge game for us in terms of late season resume.
They beat us last year. We're going on the road, so this will be a good road test for us. Although we're not at their place, it'll definitely be good for us.
Well, before we end up with a case of jet lag, let's come back to good old Champaign. And why not? Because that's where Illini volleyball will be hosting rounds of the NCAA tournament for the third year in a row. And you know the old basketball chant, the one where one group asks, "Where's Austin Peay?" and the other says, "We don't know"? Well, on Friday night, we will know, because the Austin Peay Governors will be smack dab at the corner of 4th and Gregory. That's Huff Hall for the layperson. The Illini and Austin Peay will lock horns for just the second time, with the winner set to take on either Cincinnati or Western Kentucky the next day. Now, with 2 wins, the Illini would advance to the Sweet 16 for the 3rd straight season.
Obviously, we didn't finish out conference play like we wanted to, like we hoped, but that's in the past now, and that doesn't even matter right now. And it's basically a new season, and you have to play one match at a time, and you might not be there the next day. And I think we're just all excited to kind of have a fresh start.
Well, let's now head back to the Assembly Hall court and this time switch genders. And I'm not talking about any of that Lady Gaga nonsense. I'm talking about some Illini women's hoops. Now, the ladies had their own version of the ACC Big Ten Challenge last night, but it didn't go as well as they hoped. The Illini fell to NC State 73-57 despite getting a double-double from Charisma Ballpoint Penn. There was a silver lining in the dark cloud, though, as the ONB didn't get down on themselves. Instead, just like that girl from the Twilight movies, they hung with the Wolfpack in the second half, outscoring NC State 33-31. That trend is something that Coach Jolette Law says she'll emphasize down the road.
2 points to the ball game for the sophomore from Chadron, Nebraska. This time, Penn hits the layup. She's now got 8 points.
You got to play 40 intense minutes. No team's going to back down, not at this level. And we got to make sure that we are intense from tip to when the buzzer sound. And I think we start off very, very intense, and we get comfortable, get a lead. If we get a lead, oh, we on cruise control. Then somebody come back, we're like, oh, okay, they're not supposed to do this. But it's all about learning.
The women's Hoopsters will face Colorado on the road this Saturday. And finally, we can't forget about those club sports. They're keen to make some noise from time to time on the U of I campus. And this weekend might be one of those times. It's a top 15 clash this weekend at the Big Pond when the number 12 Illini hockey team hosts number 6 Ohio. And you know the saying, it's shaping up to be a perfect storm, sort of like the movie, The Perfect Storm. Well, that's what we have this weekend. The O&B are rested up and healthy after 2 weeks off, but still haven't gotten over the fact that they've lost 3 of their last 4. The Bobcats, meanwhile, are looking for a repeat of the CSCHL title and have a ravenous fan base that loves to travel. For the Illini coaches and players, it's a very fitting way to round out the fall semester.
As long as I've been here, Ohio's been a big rivalry for us. You know, those are games we take pretty seriously, whether we're going to their place or they're coming here. They're important games. They always are. You know, Ohio's always there in the running for the national tournament, league title, league playoffs. Every year, we know we're going to have our hands full with them.
I don't know, we had a week or 2 off, so first practice was a little rough, but we're getting back into it now. And on the power was looking really good today, so we're kind of learning how they're doing their penalty kill and adjusting accordingly to that.
And that's a look at sports. More UI7 News is on the way right now.